Hello and welcome to this weekend feature of the Daily Dose of Greek. And today I want to share a resource with you that I received a review copy of, Studying the New Testament Through Inscriptions. Studying the New Testament Through Inscriptions. This is a new book. It just came out at the end of 2020. It's authored by Clint Burnett, D. Clint Burnett. It's published by Hendrickson. And this is about the field of epigraphy, the studying of ancient inscriptions, and how that is helpful for understanding the New Testament, whether it's words in the inscriptions and how looking at multiple inscriptions that use, for example, the word kurios so that we can come to a deeper understanding of it, or social and cultural customs. For example, there's a chapter in here about ancient graffiti that identifies people by a number, by the numerical value of their name. I think it looks at 23 different inscriptions, and then it uses that to talk about Revelation and who is being identified by the number 666. So I found this book really interesting. It was a quick read. It's not overly difficult. It's not overly technical. It's written for the non-specialist. And I was amazed to discover that from this time period he's dealing with, there are over 500,000 Greek, Latin, or Semitic language inscriptions that are relevant to the time of the New Testament. So from this Greco-Roman period, I don't remember the exact parameters of it, but Greek inscriptions, Latin inscriptions, and then some inscriptions in Semitic languages. I learned a lot from this book. I didn't realize most Latin inscriptions have been done in bronze, and so they were melted down, so not nearly as many of them survived as the Greek inscriptions. Of course, there are Latin inscriptions on stone too, but many Latin inscriptions were on bronze. And some of the inscriptions that he shares are just quite memorable. One is recording a letter that was sent from Emperor Augustus to this island because of an injustice that he had heard of, where there was a family that was being attacked by someone multiple days. Their home, they were barricaded in their home. So finally they told a slave to go up on the third floor of the home and to pour out excrement from one of their portable toilets in the home, a chamber potty, to pour that out on the heads of the attackers. Isn't it ironic that this was recorded in stone for posterity? So many events that could have been. We wonder why, but this is one that survived. And according to this letter that's inscribed, this inscription, the chamber potty, the toilet, the slave accidentally let go of it, and it fell on one of the attackers and killed them. And the couple who owned that home had been charged with murder because of that. And the Emperor Augustus was writing to encourage the city that this was in fact unjust, and that the attackers should be charged with the murder, not with the couple that lived in the home. So it just stuck with me. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. And at the end of this book is a very helpful set of appendices. So you have an appendix that gives, here's all the major print volumes of inscriptions that relate to interpreting the New Testament. Here's all the major online search databases and collections related to inscriptions. And then there's also a list of abbreviations, which is very helpful because in many ancient inscriptions, especially on tombs, for example, there were a very standardized way of abbreviating family relationships and other things, and just with one letter, and standard names with one letter. So if you're not familiar with that, they're very difficult to read. So I found this very enlightening. I learned a lot. I'm no expert in epigraphy, but I know a lot more about it. And I don't agree with necessarily every interpretation in this book, where, for example, in Philippians, he tries to make a case that Euodia and Syntyche were possibly even overseers of the church in Philippi. I don't follow him in that, but even though I don't agree with everything that he says, I find it extremely helpful, and I'm happy to recommend it as worthy of your reading.